Greetings, Upstanders. Dr. O here. And as some of you all know, I'm in the process of writing my fifth book. It's called Trigger Words, and it's looking at how leaders and organizations and use particular words to get people triggered, to get them riled up to follow whatever it is that they want to pursue. And so I'm looking at terms like woke and terms like anchor babies and critical race theory and the like. So I'm actually in the middle of writing my chapter on cancel culture, and something very interesting happened. Now, for those of y'all who are not really familiar, cancel culture started to really become popular in the late 2010s, primarily because of the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter movement. People who had to backlash to what people were saying in the Me Too movement were saying things like, I'm being canceled. I can't even go out on a date with a woman anymore. I might get canceled. I can't even say what we used to say in the 70s. I might lose my job. I might get canceled. Stuff like that. Or Black Lives Matter, people just can't say what they want anymore. Anything I say now is being called racist. I'm going to get canceled. I'm going to lose my job. People actually said some really racist and horrible things, and they lost their jobs. And so that was, that was like cancel culture really developed as a backlash to those movements. Actually, during this time, I appeared on Sean Hannity to debate cancel culture with him over the Dr. Seuss Foundation, deciding to get rid of several books that they found to be offensive towards diverse communities.
I've read Dr.
What
Seuss books
specifically is in the books, though, Professor? What specifically do you object to?
I specifically object to images that depict Asians in a horrible light, that depict African people, black people in a horrible light, and this is something that Dr. Seuss has had a history of doing.
For people that haven't read them, tell us exactly the light that they're cast in. I haven't read these books. My kids are much older.
Well, when you talk about these particular books and you talk about the way they make Asians look, it's the classic example of what we call Orientalism, where they're made to look like they're exotic, where they're made to look like they are less than civilized, and that is also the case with the African characters who appear in the books. We have to understand that over 2,024 characters, 45 of them are non-white, and 43 of them look like they're subhuman. And I believe that this company is making the right decision to respect how these people are viewed, especially look at what's happening right now. When you talk about hate crimes, the number 1, 2, and 3 targets are black, Jewish, and Asian people right now. And so we see that there's a correlation between the literature and what happens in society.
So as I'm writing and I'm doing my research and this whole thing is going on with Jimmy Kimmel and all of that, and I start to see another term come up. Now, before cancel culture, I would say like during the time of Obama, like call-out culture was the term, like call-out culture, calling people out. But I start seeing this term pop up in the articles I'm reading as I'm looking at the Kimmel thing, and they're talking about consequence culture. They're saying it's not cancel culture, it's consequence culture. Now, to be clear, people have used consequence culture before. George Takei, Brian Stelter, in 2020 and 2021, and, other times before that. People have used it in various different ways here and there. But now, as you can see, the MAGA folks, these Republicans who are whether you love them or not, or down with them or not, are masters at controlling the narrative and controlling the messages. Now they are moving away from cancel culture because they realize they're being hypocrites right now. And now they're saying it's not cancel culture, it's consequence culture. And the way they're using it is almost like a parent talking to their 3-year-old or their 4-year-old. If you do something you're not supposed to do, there are consequences. Like it's a very demeaning way in which they're using it, but they're also trying to run away from the hypocrisy of the fact that they cried and moaned and wailed about cancel culture for years, and now they are the one through the Trump administration that are actually engaging in cancel culture at a much higher level. And so for those of y'all who are in these media spaces who are talking about now the Republicans and MAGA, they're doing what the liberals did with cancel culture in the 2010s. It is not true. It is not true. Yes, there were campaigns for people to lose their jobs, campaigns for people to get tried. R. Kelly, for example, campaigns for the Bill Cosby, the Harvey Weinsteins and the like. Yes, there were campaigns, but they were not led by the government. It did not start with Obama and work its way down. And then, and then Trump came in and it did not start. And then Biden came in. It did not start with Biden and work its way down. So they're trying to flip it. They need to be called out. See what I did there? And there needs to be consequences. See what I did there? About what they said. Don't let them flip the narrative. Don't let them start talking about consequence culture and just automatically ignore everything they did as it relates to trying to oppose the strides that were being made during the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movement. And I know they're both still going on, but I'm talking about when they were at their real height nationally and internationally. So they're trying to ignore all of the hypocrisy, and we can't do that. Don't let them formulate this new language. Don't let them formulate this new word and just all of a sudden use it as if it's all fine. They are being hypocritical in what they're doing. To compare what people on the liberal side of things did during the height of the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movement, and say that this is just the same thing, you can't let that happen. The fact of the matter is, these Republicans and MAGA, they don't want to acknowledge their hypocrisy. And so don't start, and I hope folks in the media don't start accepting this and just start running with the term consequence culture like it's all good and like there's really a difference. The only difference is these guys are using the government right now to get out there and do all of the canceling. This is a government, and a movement just based on revenge. Now, if we're just talking about a conservative organization that's doing this, then you could talk about similarities. But this is in partnership with the government, a government who said, Trump said, I don't want to bring people together. I don't want to work with people. A guy who said at Charlie Kirk's funeral, I hate them, who said multiple times, I hate them. This is what they're doing. They're not some holier than thou. We're just doling out consequences for bad actions. No. They are being extremely hypocritical, and I hope that you all will start paying attention to this as well, because they're elevating this term consequence culture as the new trigger word because they don't want to acknowledge their hypocrisy as it relates to what they did regarding cancel culture, and we can't let it slide. Let me know what you think. Let's get to 25,000 subscribers. I'd appreciate it. Hit that like, subscribe button, and share it, and share your thoughts down there as well. All right, take care. Peace.